Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Haven't made a video in a while. Now, before you watch this video, I just want to let you know this is definitely not for the faint of heart. So, for those of you who are a little woozy or soft around the edges, definitely you don't want to hear this message. For everybody else, this is definitely going to be for you. So, I've been here now in Florida for half a year, and I'm just making my half a year assessment, just like if you were to make an assessment at a business, a relationship, and so on. I'm making my assessment in general. One of the things that I noticed is that, everybody that I thought of at the time, coming from down south, thought of people from up north as rude and crude and curt and callous and cutthroat and all of the bad adjectives you can imagine. And the funny thing is, in my experience, you know, while that is true, okay, so let me just preface by saying while that is true, I'm going to say that that's true across the board. Now, we're all humans, so whether you're a human being in Florida, whether you're a human being in New York, whether you're a human being in Zimbabwe, whether you're a human being in London, Australia, China, you're a human being. So, human beings all share similar traits. And it goes back to, a lot of my videos about followers and leaders. So, those are really two of the main distinguishments that separate the caliber of people with regards to authenticity when it comes to human beings. So, that being said, what I've learned is that while the people up north, you see them for what they are, you see the outside, you see the exterior, you hear their brash way of speaking, when someone's cutthroat, when someone's out for you, a person's intentions. And, and I guess that's what people down south have always historically said, or if not, indeed, the whole world have always said. And I kind of, I look at that now, right? And I look at it and say, well, actually, that's a good thing. They're showing you who they are, right? So in a way, they're either at a disadvantage because they're showing you exactly who they are, and it's an advantage to you because you know exactly who you're dealing with. The problem that I've encountered, like I said, all human beings being the same, is that down south, everybody is exactly the same. Okay, so I know everybody's going to get squeamish and all that stuff, but basically, and quite frankly, I don't care. The truth of the matter is that I rather see a wolf and know it's a wolf, plain and simple, than to see a sheep, think it's a sheep, and then you get to know it and you see it's just a wolf in sheep clothing. Now that's been prevalent and has run rampant. In the last few months that I've been here, and I haven't even been here a whole year, so I'm looking forward to see what the future holds. But it's that whole southern. Well, we're just good folks and we're just good people, and those people up north are really bad, and I see the same exact evil. Actually, if not, I think it's more evil to try to disguise it, because when you disguise it, it's like that you're physically putting on an act, and so to me that makes it like more evil. And that's all good. At the end of the day, this video is for, like I said, for those people who aren't evil, who aren't uh, looking to seek, steal, destroy, aren't looking to slander or to diminish the validity of other people in your lives. Now, the whole thing is, as human beings, I get it. Everybody gets scared. Everybody gets on edge when either something or someone new uh, starts to broach their territory. And all of a sudden the insidiousness, the ugliness of people really start to like show through and permeate in their everyday life. Now, again, as a business owner, and then also just on a personal level, it's actually not a bad thing, okay? Because to me, it shows, the inadequacies and the insecurities of people and how far people would go. Now, I'm not naive to the fact that, so many people do this. As a matter of fact, I have a one strike, two strike, three strikes, you're out rule. Maybe three strikes is too much, but I do have a three-strike rule. I'll let you say what you're going to say, do what you're going to do, act like you're going to act, comport yourself in the way you're going to comport yourself, and let you kind of show to me who you really are. And then at the end, it will be very obvious and blatant that you are who you are. Now, the other thing is, I believe in a higher source. And again, this is not to be religious or spiritual or anything like that, but I do believe in a higher source. And for people who do or don't believe in a higher source, that's fine. We all do believe that one does get what's coming to them. So I do subscribe to that ideology, and that's why I kind of live my life, as pure thought as I could. But I do, pray for my enemies to be exposed. I do pray for my enemies to stumble and fall. And, while it sounds like really crude and it sounds really bad to have a prayer like that, I'm not praying for their demise. I'm just praying for them to be exposed. And in the exposure, things start to happen to them. So, again, you could call it the law of reciprocity or karma or reaping what you sow or whatever you want to name it. Um, and then it happens to them. And then God shows me my enemies in front of me. There is a passage that I like that says that he will make my enemies a footstool. And again, I know that sounds really high and lofty and pretentious, and that's not the angle that I go by at all. However, it does denote that when you take the higher road and when you're doing things in the correct manner, in the right way, with a clear conscience, that everybody outside of that, or the flip side of that, or contrary to that, will rear their ugly head and show themselves for who they really are. So, uh, to those people who are in similar boats, similar situations, like I described, you know, the good news is for you and for me is that, while it is like an annoying gnat or a fly, or it is like that pain, that just continues to fly around you, and it's like, ugh. The good news is that it really shows the incompetency of others, and it shows their heart. One always asks, well, you don't know my heart. How do you know my heart? How do you know a person's heart? You know, and the truth of the matter is that they'll show you. It'll be divulged to you. So, this whole nice guy, game masquerade facade that people have, um, especially that I noticed down south, everybody's a nice guy. And then you start to see they're trying to cut you at the knees. Um, Really just shows me that everybody, number one, is the same, and I knew that. It just only validates it. And sociologically, it shows that it doesn't matter where you are in this country or in this world. Uh, People are people, and their mindset, their own mindset, their way of being, is going to always show up and surface. So for those of you who are in, like, let's say, the same position that I am or have been, the hope in this is that, that through your forgiveness for them, that they will find some sort of redemption. They will find some sort of solace in knowing that, wow, I really messed up on the people who were truly genuine, and I had to be disingenuous in their mind. They had to be disingenuous in order to elevate themselves. When really the only people who really get what they want in life, um, in the truest form and with longevity. Okay, so I want to preface by saying that with longevity, because a lot of people get what they want and have really bad intentions, but the people who keep it and sustain it and continue to grow in life and be blessed, are the ones who are as authentic and genuine as they possibly can be. Okay. So definitely what I don't want is for this to be some sort of, self-righteous rant. By any stretch of the imagination, am I a self-righteous dude, and I consider myself just like the billions of people around the world, another human being, uh, trying to make it in life, and just do right by people. And I think that sometimes the worst in us, uh, you know, just thinks of the easiest route, and that is, the whole slander, hating, gossiping. That whole route is just easier when you can do it to somebody. And at the end of the day, we all have our own choices, right? So now, for those of you who are on the other side, so not the people who it's being done to them, but the people who do this type of stuff, like, you'll just be smarter, and I think life will be better, and less calamitous events will happen in your life. All these little calamities that happen in your life along the way. I think they will stop once you stop that type of exuding of negativity, or trying to so focus and busy on tearing other people down. That same energy can be just much better spent on building yourself up. And then maybe you can get with another person who is a little bit more pure minded, and then you can collaborate together and then do things together, and then you can both succeed twice as fast together. Because the more energy and low vibration you put towards something, I hate to say it, man, and I've seen it with my own two eyes, and it is sad. I definitely don't like to see it happening to my enemies. And when I say my enemies in quotation, I, they're not my enemies because I made them enemies. They're my enemies just by the mere deduction that they've made themselves my enemies. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty sad, and things will continue to happen to you, and things will continue to befall you. And like I said, I hate to use the word calamity, but a lot of calamitous things will happen in your life, and then you'll just get yourself more and more in a rut and angry. And it's just going to happen more and more, and things will just get worse and worse for you. So, like, my thing is, I'm extending the olive branch. Let's all work together as human beings and treat each other the way we want to be treated. And I guarantee you, life will be much simpler, and it'll be much easier for all of us to succeed in our personal goals, instead of the antagonistic way that we broach not just life, but the people that are trying to be good to you. All right, so long video, and I hope that you took heed. For those of you that I told up front, like, this is definitely not for the faint of heart. So if you stood this long, I'm hoping that you got something out of it. And primarily, if you stood this long, I'm hoping that it's people that are like-minded, and people who have been through similar, or are going through similar, I don't even want to say issues, but similar ways of life as I have. And that's been my I guess my story. I can honestly say that my assessment between people down south and people up north is that it's exactly the same, with the exception that I believe it's worse, is wolves in sheep clothing. I'd rather just see that you're a wolf, and then this way we know who you are. I know who you are. You know who I am, and then this way we can kind of just avoid each other instead of going through a long and arduous journey together, only for me to have heard or seen, or both, things that are very unsavory that always come back to me. And, it's unfortunate, but hey, that is life. Okay. Like I said, I always like to put my age out there, and I say my age because, every year that goes by, I'm hoping that I'm getting a little bit more and more wiser. Wisdom is something that I definitely seek. So at 50 years old, being around the block in life, I definitely make it my priority to study people, to understand people, to listen to people, and give people benefit of the doubt before I make my final decisions on anything, either way. So listen, hope you guys enjoyed the video. For the one person who probably hung around to see the whole thing, you could DM me and say, hey, I hate your video, or hey, I like your video, or hey, that makes sense, or hey, I think you're incorrect, or hey, whatever. All right. So looking forward to hearing from you or whomever. All right, guys, take it easy.